What up, everyone? This is Mr. Lord, Dr. Professor, Dark Joker, with another edition of When, Where, Pick, and Dare, where I pick games for the various games that are occurring tomorrow. Whether it's football, baseball, basketball, basically whatever games I want to pick, I will pick them. With all that being said, on with the video. MLB. Chicago Cubs versus Detroit Tigers. The Cubs have a 37.8% chance to win. Tigers have a 62.2% chance to win. This is at Detroit. For pitchers, Brown for the Cubs has an ERA of 5.72 and a whip of 1.46. And Scoot Ball for the Tigers has an ERA of 2.26 and a whip of 0.79. So really good pitching for the Tigers and not good pitching for the Cubs. So definite advantage for the Tigers. So with home field advantage and pitching advantage, I'm picking the Tigers to beat the Cubs tomorrow. Houston Astros versus Cleveland Guardians. The Astros have a 42.2% chance to win, and the Guardians have a 57.8% chance to win. This is at Cleveland. And for pitchers, Gordon for the Astros has an ERA of 5.95 and a whip of 1.37. And Allen for the Guardians has an ERA of 4.22 and a whip of 1.59. Now, not necessarily good pitching for Allen. Now, Gordon, he hasn't played much this year. And so, really, and that's his whole career, actually. He's only done 19 and two-thirds innings in his career, so pitch wise. So, with experience, with the lower ERA, I'd say the advantage is in a favor of the Guardians. Not necessarily good pitching for either team, but, so with the pitching advantage and the home field advantage, I think the Guardians will beat the Astros tomorrow. San Diego Padres versus Milwaukee Brewers. Padres have a 40.1% chance to win, and the Brewers have a 59.9% chance to win. This is at Milwaukee. For pitchers, Vasquez for the Padres has an area of 3.99, a whip of 1.47. And Patrick for the Brewers has an area of 2.97, a whip of 1.21. So good pitching for both teams. Vasquez is a little too close to 4, but still good pitch, decent pitching. But it's a definite advantage in favor of the Brewers in that. So with home field advantage and pitching advantage, I think the Brewers will beat the Padres tomorrow. Blue Jays versus Minnesota Twins. So the Blue Jays have a 41% chance to win, and the Twins have a 59% chance to win. This is at Minnesota. And for pitchers, Gaussman for the Blue Jays has an ERA at 3.82 and a whip of 1.02. And Ober for the Twins has an ERA at 3.48 and a whip of 1.35. So slight advantage in pitching for the Twins, but not really that significant. So home field advantage is going to be the big thing here. So I think with the home field advantage, I think the Twins beat the Blue Jays tomorrow. Los Angeles Dodgers versus St. Louis Cardinals. The Dodgers have a 49.3% chance to win, and the Cards have a 50.7% chance to win. This is at St. Louis. For pitchers, Gray for the Cards has an ERA at 3.67, the whip of 1.12. And the Dodgers, at this point, have not decided on a pitcher. So, good pitcher for Gray. Nothing I can say about Dodgers, so with home field advantage. And, good pitcher for Gray, so I can't really say who has a pitcher advantage, but with good pitching, right now I'd probably say the Cards have the advantage. So, home field advantage and pitching advantage. I'd say the Cardinals will beat the Dodgers tomorrow. College baseball. Arizona Wildcats versus North Carolina Tar Heels game 1. So this is the first game of the Chapel Hill Super Regional. So, whoever wins this series goes to Omaha. So yeah, I think with this being at North Carolina, with that being a big baseball school, large crowd there, I think the Tar Heels will beat the Wildcats tomorrow. Miami Hurricanes versus Louisville Cardinals, game one. So first game of the Louisville Super Regional. Both good baseball schools. Miami having a very big baseball history. Louisville being good in recent years. Anyway, with this, even though Miami is very good, they'll probably this could be one of the more interesting Super Regionals. I think with home field advantage, I think Louisville will beat Miami tomorrow in game one. Florida State Seminoles versus Oregon State Beavers, game one. So number 9 versus number 8. This could be the biggest Super Regional of the weekend, or at least one of them. It's in Corvallis, so home game for Oregon State, very good baseball school. Florida State is too. Oregon State's actually won a championship though. So with it being at Corvallis, I think Oregon State beats Florida State tomorrow. Also, Carolina Chanticleers versus Auburn Tigers. So 13 versus 4. This could be an interesting super regional. This is at Auburn. Auburn's not really known for baseball. They might have a decent crowd there, but home fans may not mean as much, but it will mean something. It's SEC, and I just think Auburn's just better than Coastal Carolina, so I I think Auburn wins game one tomorrow.
And that's it for picks. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening to my picks. Do you agree with them? Do you not? If you have different picks, you can put them in the comments. But other than that, please like, subscribe, and all that. Thank you for listening, and look forward to the next video.